Today I'm going to be talking about virtual reality and 360-degree filmmaking. And first of all, I wanted to ask the room, has anyone heard of like a 360-degree video here? Everyone seen them? If you've been on YouTube or Facebook, you'd know that recently they've added 360-degree video support. And so I'm going to talk a bit more about, from the perspective of a content creator, what are some things to think about when creating your own 360-degree video? Now, for the benefit of anyone who may be watching this on YouTube or otherwise doesn't know, 360-degree videos can be watched using virtual reality headsets, such as this one. This is the Zeiss VR One, which is slightly better than the Google Cardboard, but it's compatible. So I was just trying out Sharon's game, the virtual Pac Man, using this, and it looked amazing. So yeah, it's really cool what you can do with virtual reality. And the 360-degree camera will actually film in all directions at once. So it'll be filming the front of the room and the side and the back and the up and down. So it captures everything all together. And this is amazing for filmmakers because you can create new kinds of experiences in your video, where people can actually put on a headset and feel like they're in that world that you were capturing. But I want to talk about three different aspects of filmmaking which are quite different with virtual reality filmmaking. First of all, I'll talk about them at once. So first of all, the framing of your subjects, and number two, the cutting, how do you edit, and number three, the movement of the camera. So as you might know, if you're filming a video, a traditional video, you have to choose what's going to be in your frame. So the director, if you're having a movie set, the director has a little spyglass and he or she will figure out exactly what's going to be in the shot and help the camera operator set up that shot. Whereas in a virtual reality filmmaking, if you're filming the whole room, you no longer have that ability to direct a certain frame of the image. Instead, the director will be responsible for creating a whole environment around the camera that someone can experience. And this could be done via just filming half the room and then the other half and then sort of digitally stitching it together. Or it could be done all at once just by having everything around there kind of in real life. So for example, I recently watched a video by the YouTuber, I forget his name, but he's a very popular New York YouTuber who makes tons of vlog videos. And he got a friend with a 360 camera set up in his workshop and had around 3 people all doing stuff at once in the room, with someone talking and other people doing crazy stuff. And it was a very interesting use of the technology. So that's basically for the perspective of framing. Now for the second idea of editing and cutting, now there's something to think about, because if you're filming a regular video, usually if you watch TV, every second you're cutting from one angle to another angle, or you're jumping from scene to scene really quickly. If you're looking at something in virtual reality, it's actually very disorienting to do a cut from one angle to another. You actually feel like you suddenly jumped from one place to another, and that's not what real life is like unless you blink your eyes and suddenly you're transported somewhere else. So for editing wise, it's much better from a perspective of editor to prefer that you're going to use a very long cut. So instead of cutting every second, you might cut every 30 seconds or something like that. That will give the viewer the time to look around the environment and actually feel like they're in some place before they're magically whisked off to somewhere else. I was watching a 360 video about The Lion King, where the director or the editor decided to put about 5 cameras in 360 around the stage of The Lion King and film the performance. And then what they did was they actually tried to apply the old style editing to it, and they cut every second. And it was, or every maybe even 10 seconds. But I was really frustrated because I really started enjoying my viewpoint of like perching above the stage, and suddenly I was down in the bottom of the stage. I didn't have time to look around. So I would say for those kind of things, it's something to think about when you're editing. So finally, the third thing is about camera movement. Now, if you've ever used a virtual reality headset for a long period of time, you may notice that you get dizzy quite quickly. My first day of using this Zeiss VR One, I got very dizzy after 1 hour. Because I was so excited, I was trying all the films, and I actually felt almost kind of sick and I had to go to sleep. So the discovery about what causes the dizziness is actually acceleration. And if you feel like you're accelerating from a stationary position to movement, or you are increasing your speed or slowing down, if your visual perspective shows that those accelerations are happening, but the other kind of sensors in the brain, like the inner ear that sense the movement changes, if they don't coincide, then your brain may produce a dizziness. So that's something to consider. To avoid the idea of dizziness, try to keep the camera in one place, or if it is moving, have it move at a constant rate. So I have one example of that. I was watching a video of the most extreme roller coaster in Korea in virtual reality, and it was just really dizzying because it kept speeding up and slowing down. It's kind of like a thrill ride. It will give you the same kind of motion sickness as if you were actually on a roller coaster, which is actually not a bad thing if you want to go for the kind of extreme style videos. So in conclusion, I've talked about 3 aspects of editing and filmmaking: the framing, the editing in terms of the cutting, and also the camera movement. So I hope that these ideas will be helpful if you decide that you would like to make 360 videos. And I will note that the first affordable cameras for this technology are coming out in the next few weeks. There's one by Ricoh that's like $350 US, and it automatically stitches everything together, so it seems really easy. It looks kind of like a little flip cam, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting one of those next year and experimenting with it. But I know that I was very surprised when I came in today that one of our members here already has created a virtual reality game, Sharon, who has done this, and I'll put the link to that game below. It's called the Virtual Pac Man, and that was quite exciting to see that it's not just me that's interested. We have other people experimenting with virtual reality as well. So I guess if we have a couple minutes, anyone have any questions or comments? My favorite film so far is Bjork. It's a music video made in April, spring of this year, where the camera is in one spot. So like I said, it's not moving, you don't get dizzy, and it doesn't move. The camera's in one spot the whole time. And Bjork is just dancing around the camera for like 5 minutes, wearing this beautiful dress. And sometimes she splits off into like 3 Bjorks all dancing around you, and music is gorgeous. I thought it was, and it's on the beach, so there's all the waves everywhere, and it's really a lovely video. I'll put the link to that below as well. But that's one I really recommend watching, because I think it makes use of all these 3 principles that I discussed today.